Hey guys, welcome to the channel. We thought we'd sit down and do a bit of a sit and talk. It looks a little bit less professional than normal, and there is a reason. We're in the height of British summer, and it is red hot at the moment.
Yep, 22 degrees.
Yeah, about 18 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
It's too hot for us. Because it's so hot, I haven't put the banner up because there's a breeze coming through behind there, and it's just nice at the moment. So apologies for the slightly less professional look.
We've still got the nice cooling tea though.
Yeah, of course, you have to drink tea. I've heard a rumour that if you drink tea, it raises your core temperature and your body works harder to cool yourself down.
Don't confuse me with science.
Yeah, it's probably not true either. So I wanted to sit down and do a chat video. I was going to do one a little while ago about last week at some point, and things happened, and I'll explain in a minute. And then Mike came around this evening, and we were sat at chatting hobby, and I went, you know what, stop, let's put the camera on and chat on camera, because sometimes that's the best content. And on Warhammer we are near enough more known for the chatty type stuff, although the battle reports are doing really, really well. We're hoping to film some more battle reports for Warhammer soon. And there's new armies coming and all sorts that we'll talk about in this video anyway. So I apologise for not doing a sit and talk type video for a while. I had filmed one, it went horrendously wrong in post-edit, so I had to scrap it, and that is heartbreaking when you spend an hour and a half sitting and doing a video and then it just dies and doesn't work, and you know, it's a waste of time. So I planned to do another one last week, and this family came down with a bubonic plague.
Yeah.
So Papa Nurgle touched this household in a strong, passionate way. It's not been pleasant here at all. So I've not long, like literally the last 2 days, gone back to work because it was that bad. The kids still off school. So you probably get infected, by the way.
I've stayed well away.
Yeah. We've seen Mike a lot, apart from the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Not really seen him at all. Yeah. So this was our opportunity to sit and have a chat about things that are going on in the world of 40k, stuff that's coming to the channel. And hopefully it'll be a nice video for people to sit and watch. I hope, fingers crossed. Yeah. So the first thing I wanted to touch on tonight was Imperial Knights. So the Codex has been out for a little while now. They've just dropped the FAQ. Been out for about a month, maybe?
Yeah, about that. Super shiny is still super shiny.
And they are everywhere, aren't they?
They are.
They're absolutely everywhere. And it hasn't put me off them, but they are everywhere. And I think it's a really interesting thing to talk about. So the Codex dropped, and obviously Imperial Knights went from having 5 variations of Knight to having, 9 or 10 variations in total. So they've got the standard 5 that we had before, the 5 Imperial Knight variations, and now you've got the larger class, not the Dominus class, thank you, which is the Valiant, and the other one, the Castellum. And then you've got the now the 2 Armiger classes as well. You've got the Warglaive and the Helverin. So they've got a lot more knights, which is interesting to start with, because it makes knight lists look a bit different each time. Some people take Dominus classes, some people don't. Some people like lots of the Armiger classes, which actually I think were really cool. When they first came out, I hated them. I thought models were horrible. Having seen them in person, actually I really like those. And I would argue I don't like the Dominus class all that much. I don't think they look that nice. But that's personal preference, that's by the by. Anyway, we've now seen lots and lots and lots of knight lists cutting around. And also with the FAQ, they gave you a command point bonus.
That's a win.
It's not a win.
For the knight list, it is.
Why do they need more command points? Why suddenly do 3 super heavies in a knight list gain 9 command points in total, and no one else? If I took 3 Wraith Knights, I wouldn't because they're rubbish. But if I took 3 Wraith Knights, I don't get 9 command points. Why do Knights get it?
Well, their stratagems do cost quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean...
There's not that many one-pointers just out there that you're going to use all the time.
No, you're right. In the Codex, there's lots and lots of stratagems. There's about 4 pages worth, I think.
Yes.
And a lot of them are 2 or 3 command points. So I get that they're giving you the opportunity to use them. But this comes on from this carries on from a chat that Winters and I had recently on DZHQ over on deploymentzone.tv. Just drop that in there so you can go and check that out.
What was that, DZ?
Yeah, deploymentzone.tv.
Oh, okay.
We had a chat about that one, and I had a bit of a whinge, basically. So we were talking about detachments over on DZ, and I said that it annoys me the way detachments currently work. So when 8th edition first came out, I was all over the new detachment thing, because I thought it was better. I thought it calmed it down, got rid of all this formations junk, and all the detachments came from the rulebook. Happy days. The Chaos Codex was one of the first ones to come out. And they sort of set a precedent, I thought, early on with the Chaos Codex, whereby if you went World Eaters, for example, Khorne Berserkers were troop choices. If you went Emperor's Children, Noise Marines were troop choices. This is good. I thought this was amazing. I play Simon Han Eldar.
you're going to get troop choices.
So I thought that Elder Jet bikes would become troop choices, and I'd be able to field a battalion detachment and have the same command points as everybody else. Nope. So to this day, when I filled my Simon Elder, the maximum I normally can pull from a list, because I refuse to take Guardians and Rangers at the moment, although Witness is trying to convince me that Guardians and Simon is fluffy, is 6 command points is all I can get in total. Which originally, when a battalion only gave you 3 command points, I was maybe 2, maybe 3 command points behind other lists, so I could kind of live with that. But now that battalions give you 8 off the bat, so if you then take a Spearhead and then you then take a Vanguard, you end up with 10 command points, and I'm sat there with 6. Like, this is rubbish.
Yeah.
So, and then Ravenwing biker lists, they don't get bikes as troop choices, so they're sat in the same boat. They're looking at 5 or 6 command points. There was a battle report Lawrence did recently on TT with Ravenwing against World Eaters, I think. And I think he maxed out at 6 command points in total. And it annoys me that you take narrative lists and you're kind of punished because you don't get... So to get more than that with his Ravenwing, you'd have to stick in 3 squads of 5 scouts or something. Yep. That's pants. Rubbish. That's pants, isn't it, at best? So that annoyed me massively. But I thought, okay, well, as long as every codex is getting treated the same, I suppose it's not that much of a drama. Then the Imperial Knights codex drops and the FAQ comes out. Now they get 9 command points for having 3 super heavies.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be clear, I was really happy originally because, you can't spam armigers anymore, because if you spam armigers and fill your 3 heavy support choices, you don't get any command points. Nope, you get 3 now. So that's... But what I do think is interesting with the Knights is I think it's going to massively shift the meta and the way the meta currently works.
Yeah, it will move a bit further away from Horde armies, maybe.
Do you think?
Maybe. Well, it balances out a little bit more.
This is interesting. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Why do you think it'll come away from Horde armies?
It's just the with the Custodes and the Knights, there is now minimum model armies that can compete because they are hard and they hit hard. So although the Horde armies were great, they just tie you up. Actually, these things can just stomp all over you, and you do die quite quickly with your Horde army.
So I looked at it differently. I think it strengthens Horde armies.
Really?
Yeah. Because Horde armies were one of the strong parts of 8th edition, and Horde armies have always been pretty strong. So people were fielding lots of low damage, high round output, so lots of shots.
Yeah.
High shot, low damage weapons. Well, that's no good against Imperial Knights necessarily. I say no good. Mathematically, they're still not bad, but it's not as good as high damage output. So I think with the increase of things like Imperial Knights and Adeptus Custodes, you'll see lots of high damage output. Why would you fire bolt guns at a Custodian when you can use last cannon and wipe one out in a straight turn? Same with Knights. You're looking at Melter and last cannons and stuff like that. So you're going to probably see, I won't say you will see, I reckon you will see an increase in people thinking about things like Imperial Knights as problems and therefore needing high damage output weapons.
Like plasma, melter, last cannons coming back.
So what does that mean? That means less things like assault cannons, heavy bolters, etc. High output weapons, lots of shots. That means that the Horde armies are less fearful of these other forces because. So what if you fire a last cannon at a squad of orcs? You only kill one.
Yeah,
I only kill one. Exactly. Yeah. So I think it strengthens Horde armies. I think it makes them stronger, which is interesting because I thought they were strong enough as it was.
Yeah. It kind of leans a bit more towards like the thinking what you're going to take and what you might come up against and what's the new shiny and what's... It
does make take all corners lists harder to write, I suppose, now, to a degree, because you now have to think about what happens if I come up against... So we're talking, say, for example, tournament play. What happens if I come up against an orc player of 120 orc boys?
Yeah. I
need to be able to deal with that. But equally, what happens if I come up against 5 Imperial Knights, including a Dominus class and, you know...
I think it makes those Ultramarine Primaris or the Marine Primaris quite good because... And it favours them now because they've got the Interceptors, the Interceptors and the Hellblasters that now can do a bit of everything. Yeah. You have to protect your Hellblasters to take out those tough-ass units, but... Why wouldn't you just take a pile of troops that are actually relatively good in the way of costing? Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Since they dropped the points cost on the intercessors and the
Primaris Marines in general, I think they're a good list. They're a good all-round list.
Yeah.
I don't think they're tournament winning. We were discussing earlier, weren't we, about what some people grade as top rank now and what people grade as middle rank and bottom rank. And I think, for me, I think the 3 strongest codexes currently, or codices, however you want to say it, are Craftworld Eldar, Tau, and Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
And you said that someone's argued that Drukhari are in there as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Drukhari in the right hands can be in there, yeah. But I'm rubbish with them and I don't know much about them, so I have put them at the top basically.
I'm sure some people, Lawrence, can play them really well and win lots.
Yeah.
So that's what I'd imagine.
But I do like the fact that there's no auto wins in this edition. I think
they had put so it was I think it was Epic Gamer or someone like that, the or Almost Pro Gamer or someone like that they'd put it on there and they said Marines were actually like grade 3. So
really?
Plain Marines, standard everyday Marines. So I'm thinking they're aiming at like Dark Angels or White Scars or one of the lesser known or lesser popular chapters. But Ultramarines was tier 2 because you can farm, you can re-roll things, you can consolidate, and there's just a few more perks for Ultramarines than there are for the others.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting as well when you talk about chapters and stuff. This is a conversation I had with a few people recently, actually. We're looking at chapter tactics like Salamanders. Tau have one called Salseer. Someone will probably correct me in the comments. These seps, these chapters, I think are insanely powerful. So with Salamanders, you basically get a reroll failed to hit and a reroll failed to wound per unit. And then with Salseer, you get a reroll failed to hit per unit that's got that sept tenet. And people don't rate it. Oh, well, what good is that? I'm like, hang on a minute. You've got 15 units in Tau or whatever, or 12 Salamanders units. Yeah. That's basically 12 to 15 command point rerolls every turn. Free.
Yeah. It's strong.
That's insane,
it's like Iron Hands. Iron Hands, everyone in 7th would have fallen over themselves for that Feel no pain. That's it. And actually, the only person I think that plays them regularly enough is Winters.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Iron Hands in 7th is you can stack the Feel no pain.
Yeah.
The things like apothecaries and stuff. Whereas obviously in 8th you can't stack that.
But it's still a free, no matter
it's
what.
It's a free save, yeah.
Save.
Yeah, it's a free save. And the thing is, for certain other armies, so like in the Craftworld Eldar book, I'd suggest that a lot of people probably think that Ulthway is one of the strongest. It's not the strongest. Alatok's probably the strongest, and Alatok's the -1 to hit over 12. A lot of people went nuts when that first came out for things like Raven Guard and stuff, and went, "Oh, that's too strong." But for armies like Raven Guard, you probably want to be in your face. It's strong to a point, and then it's not so strong. Yeah. For Alatok Eldar, who don't want to be in your face, they want to be far away and shooting at you with all their ranged weapons.
Then it's perfect.
It's amazingly strong. Yeah, it's really, really good. But Ulthway is also considered quite strong, and that's the same 6-up for no pain.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Ulthway 6-up for no pain is Ulthway that ties in with lots of command point farming type stuff. And this command point farming stuff is really popular. Yeah. And actually, having watched now a fair few battle reports with command point farming type lists, once in a blue moon, you watch a guy farm a load of command points.
Yeah, it's not as common.
It's not that strong.
I've played you a few times and with the Ultramarines, and it's a bit boring. Farming them, I'm competitively do it all day long, and if I was playing you seriously, I'd be doing it. But actually, it's quite good fun to play one or two of the other.
I just think there's stronger options out there.
Yeah, but I'm not winning those back that often.
I personally think that farming command points as a trait, as a warlord trait, as a whatever you pick it as to be, as a relic or whatever, I'm gonna probably receive a lot of hate for this. I think it's the easy way out.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about what you're doing to make your list a bit stronger, because farming command points naturally makes your list a bit stronger. Right?
Oh, definitely.
So if you gain more command points and you gain the ability to do more rerolls or chuck a couple of extra stratagems in there that you like, then gaining those command points back and being able to do that more times naturally makes your list stronger, no matter what. There's no argument. It makes it stronger. So it's an easy cop-out way.
It makes me scared, though, to throw them in. So I've had my captains, and my beastie captain that I've picked because he'll be survivable, and then I've gone, I'm not throwing him in there, even though I'm pretty sure he's going to win that fight, just in case he doesn't.
Because I might get to roll a 6 up and get a command point back.
Well, 5 up.
Yeah,
But,
well,
yeah. So so that's like 1 in 3. I could do well with that. And I'm like,
And yeah, if you look
no,
at
the lieutenant.
if you looked at the warlord traits and you looked at the relics, you can give that captain who's got the Iron Halo for the 3-up invulnerable save, or the Sanctic Halo, whatever you give him.
Yeah, normally the Sanctic.
Yeah. And you look at a warlord trait you could give him that can make his attacks better. I don't know the Space Marine book very well. Actually, you could probably chuck him in and start bossing fights with him with his Boltstorm gauntlets and his power sword and stuff.
I did in the latest one on the
on DZ, not on
DZ.
Warhammer. We won't talk about that one.
Sorry, flip over.
Yeah, if it didn't happen on Warhammer, it didn't happen. That's the fact.
Agreed.
So actually, so it's interesting to look at some of these other options that are available to people, some of these other traits that people can use, and go, actually, I think that there's stronger options out there. So say for Tau, you see a lot of people running Borkan because you get the extra range for Tau, and it's good, but Tau don't suffer with range all that badly. So say giving every unit a reroll, I think is insanely good. Yeah. Salamanders, I think, for me personally, and I'm probably wrong because I don't play Marines all that often, and when I do, I play them badly. So say for me, Salamanders for me is probably one of the strongest chapter tactics in the book just because of the ability to keep rerolling. And me and Winters have played recently. I think that was on DZ as well, and he used Salamander's chapter tactics. And we, as far as we understand it, you get a reroll failed to hit and wound per unit for the shooting phase and for the fight phase.
That's amazing.
So that's insane. You're talking, if a unit shoots and then fights in the fight phase, you're talking 4 rerolls for that one unit in one turn of the game. If you had that, and you won't, but if you had that across 10 units, that's 40 rerolls per turn for free.
Yeah.
How is that not being used and abused by everybody?
It makes me really sad that my only real pushed army with the Ultramarines that I painted like meticulously and took loads of care over are Ultramarines and dedicated. I wish they kind of had gone a little bit to the side.
I mean, that army started before 8th dropped.
It did. It was a 7th army, so
yeah, because Gulliman came out.
Yeah.
Cool.
What? No, it was all about deep striking drop pods.
Yeah, I don't know. Where did we start? We started on talking about Imperial Knights as well.
Yeah,
didn't
we did.
And there's some interesting choices for Imperial Knights, actually. They've got lots of different household tenets and stuff. I've got the Codex up there. But what I'm saying is, I do think we're starting to see online with battle reports and stuff, and from some people, I do think we're starting to see some people think outside the box a little bit. Yeah. I think people are getting wise to the fact that if we all abuse this same rule, Games Workshop will change it, which I love Games Workshop for that. Sterling job, keep going. Yeah. So I think people are starting to use these different traits, different tenets and stuff like that, and different chapter tactics, which is really, really cool. So although the Knights are coming, Winters is the one that he used. Is it House Hawk Shroud, I think? Basically means that whatever your remaining wounds are, you double them. Having played against that, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I've played against that.
That's disgusting.
So you were Eldar.
But
it's the same.
But point for point, and I'm not whinging, I'm not complaining, especially with the abomination that they wear in 7th edition. But point for point, a Wraith Knight does not compare to an Imperial Knight. I would take an Imperial Knight over a Wraith Knight every single day of the week. It's just more reliable. It's more survivable naturally. It just is.
Even the Sword and Shield one.
Yeah. So I've got if you take a Sword and Shield Wraith Knight, you've got no ranged weapons. You have to pay for ranged weapons, and they're not that great as ranged weapons. They're okay, but they're not that great. You take a Knight Paladin and you compare it to a Wraith Knight. A Knight Paladin's got a Reaper Chainsword, boss in combat. It's got a rapid fire battle cannon, a boss at shooting, and it's got a 5 vulnerable save naturally. Yeah. And it's as survivable as it's got the same statistical line as a Wraith Knight.
I'd argue in nosing through and having a chat with you previously, that actually getting the gunboat, both arms full of weapons, is actually a better loadout. I know they're more expensive.
What, for Wraith Knights?
No, for Imperial Knights, because the amount of times you'd use the feat just to get multiple hits.
Yeah.
There's very few that you'd have to come up against something big like like some sort of demon or a tank or something that really requires a Reaper Chainsword.
Let's be fair, Reaper Chainswords, they're not null and void now. They're not null and void, but they're less needed, especially with Armiger Warglaives. Armiger Warglaives, especially now they've increased the number of attacks with the swipe attacks and stuff for that little chainsword thing and their melter guns, and how fast they are with those melter guns. They disappear up the field, open up all the transports, and then the Knights will sit at the back when all the transports are opened and just flatten anything in their path. Yeah. Which narratively kind of makes sense, I suppose, to a degree. Like you sit back there with 100%. Things like Crusaders, with Gatling cannons. Having said that, Knights sitting back firing, having played against Winter's Valiant, or whatever it's called, the close-range Dominus class Knight, that's not a nice place to be.
Well, up close.
That thing is horrendous. Oh my Christ, that thing is. I don't want to be anywhere near it.
No,
ever. The 3d6 auto hit thing that it's got, and oh my, and the harpoon. I'm not going to tell you what the harpoon did, but Jesus.
Harpoon's 12-inch range, I think, and the Flamer's 8.
Yeah, I think the harpoon's like 12 or something, and it's strength 10, AP -4 or 5. It does D6. I think it does D6 damage. It won't be on. It does D6 damage plus mortal wounds if it causes. No, it's flat 10 damage, isn't it? The harpoon's a flat 10 damage, and if it causes wounds, it causes mortal wounds as well. So it's a minimum if it wounds of 11 damage, maximum 13.
Harpoon, yeah. Strength 16 -6.
Strength 16. So it's wounding other Imperial Knights on 2s, ignoring armor saves altogether. It does a flat 10 damage plus D3 mortal wounds. And it re-rolls, I think if you read it, it re-rolls failed to win rolls or failed to hit rolls against vehicles as well, one of the two.
Failed to hit rolls against vehicles and monsters.
What on earth is that?
It is 12 inches, so you just have to stay away, but it does also move quicker. So.
But it's a Dominus class Knight, it's an 8-inch move or a 10-inch move or something.
10-inch.
So it's not that easy to keep away from 10-inch moves.
7 when you eventually get it down, but his Hawk Shroud one never goes down.
That's Hawk Shroud's amazing because obviously, if you get it, you have to get it down to 28 wounds is standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get it down to 14 wounds, still counts as 28 wounds.
Yeah.
So you have to get it down to 7 wounds to count as 14 to start to reduce it. So you've got to remove 21 wounds from that thing before you can do anything with it. And if you make it the Warlord, you can give it a trait that gives it a 4-up Iron Shield rather than a 5-up Iron. What on earth?
Yeah.
I mean, Knights are cool. Big, giant, stompy mech robots are cool. And like I said, I do think we'll see a massive meta shift because of Knights. Yeah, Mike will be bringing his Knights to Warhammer really soon.
Yeah.
We're going to throw some armies at the Knights and see what we can do on Warhammer.
Yeah. Baron Yorick.
Whatever that was.
English. He's a character out of the 7th edition book. He is in the 8th edition book, but or he might not actually. But he was in this 7th edition book, and I painted my first Knight based on his colour schemes.
Yeah.
Loved it. It was great fun.
There's a battle report up on deploymentzone.tv, or it will be soon, I don't think it is yet, where Winters' Knights of the Penitent Forge took on the Simon Elder. There's one going up before that where I think Sam brings his Admech and he has a Knight in there. He uses a Gallant, because a Gallant now with the Thunderstrike gauntlets are good.
That is going to be fun.
And they hit on 2s in melee now because they're good against an army that's coming to Warhammer soon, which I haven't told you guys about. You're about to find out about tonight, actually. So yeah, we'll also that's going on DZ. So we'll get you to bring your Knights on Warhammer. We'll stick Knights on Warhammer.
Be well up for it.
That'd be a good fun game.
Got a couple of little Warglaves, and then 3 big Knights.
Yeah. Have you got Dominus class yet?
No.
Good. They don't want one of those.
No. Not at the
moment. So we've waffled about Knights and come around full circle.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit pause, probably recharge the cup, and then we'll come back and do some more chatting. Right, we have recharged the teacups. We're now back with DZ teacups as well. You can get them on the website. We're now back chatting rubbish again. So we've covered Knights-ish. I don't really know what I wanted to cover about them, but I wanted to talk about Knights. So I think we've talked about them a little bit.
Yep.
One thing we didn't cover about Knights, which I'm going to bring up now, just shortly, was these missiles. So you turned up today, and we started talking about Knights, and you said, why pick the missiles over the whatever the cannons are called?
Autocannons. I would pick them. The cannons all day long.
They cost more. They're more points, aren't they?
Yes.
And the shield breaker missiles are damn good.
Yes, but you only get to use one. So you can pay, can't you? No, you just get to use one.
Yeah, the ones per turn, aren't they?
Yeah.
And actually, I learned something new about these as well, which I never knew. Is that in my house?
Yeah.
I think I have a wailing child. So wait a minute.
We'll be back. Siege breaker. So to be fair, you're getting a bit of both. Where are you starting?
We'll just come in like professionally after I've sorted the child out. So we were talking about missiles and cannons, auto cannons you called them, siege breaker cannons just found out there. What we did allow is Brom time to frantically look at points and rules and stuff.
Yeah.
So obviously on the Dominus classes you can put these siege breaker cannons on top or you can put these missiles on top, and you said why would you not always take the siege breaker cannons? And I think Winters agrees. He thinks the siege breaker cannons are a better option.
I think they're better.
Because the missiles fire once per turn.
Agreed.
But
so you gotta hope you get to 4 turns with it alive
to fire all 4.
To fire all 4, and even then you've got to hit to. Alright, you're gonna kill.
But you've got that famous stratagem as well. That famous 2 command point stratagem where you can target a character out of line of sight. I don't know if it's that stratagem that allows it to be out of line of sight, just a missile in general. But you can target a character out of line of sight. You're hitting at strength 10 AP -4 or something. And they ignore invulnerable saves and they do D6 damage. Mate, they're good. Those missiles are really good. And they're cheaper than the Siegebreaker cannons. Because it's 2 Siegebreaker cannons per missile, isn't it? Or something like that? Or 2 missiles. I don't know which way around
missiles. You got to pay for each missile.
Yeah.
So do you pay per missile or per... It does say per missile, so you get 2 missiles on each pod. So you got 4 missiles, so it's 48 points.
What, in total or each?
No, in total. They're 12 points each.
That's cheap. And it's 35 points per Siegebreaker cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the missiles are a cheaper option.
But you have to...
So if you're point saving, they're not a bad option.
Yeah, if you're point saving...
They're a good option.
They're a good...
And
the ability... It as a hot swappable.
The ability to have a Dominus class knight sniping a character is incredible. And it's probably better than your normal sniper mortal wound type stuff hitting characters because it's ignore invulnerable saves and basically ignore armor saves and do D6 damage.
That is true. But your twin siege cannon is like autocannons. That's why I keep calling it an autocannon. It's D3. No, 2D3. Strength 7 -1 D3 damage. So it's autocannons. It's twin autocannons.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think the missiles are a stronger choice.
Oh, I don't know. I'd like more shots.
I only think they're a stronger choice because of how much cheaper they are, let's be honest. I'm not saying that they're the better choice overall, but when you're looking at an army where you are squeezing as much as you can into 1750, 2000 points, for example, and you're normally averaging 5 to 6 models, shaving those points off can be important. And if you're clever about your Dominus class, I say clever, it sounds insulting, but if you work your Dominus class heavy enough, depending on what you are, especially if it's a Castellan, if it's a ranged one, because those missiles are 48-inch range. If it's a ranged Dominus and you sit him at the back and you surround him with things like the Questoris class knights and then the Armature class in front of them as well, people probably aren't going to get to him too soon, and you could probably keep him alive for those 4 turns.
Definitely.
But the downside I've learnt recently, I never knew this was a thing, and I think it was on a podcast from Frontline Gaming or something. I didn't know this about one-use only missiles. So this includes things like Storm Ravens with one-use only missiles, etc. I didn't know if the weapon is in range, it must be fired.
What?
Yep. So if you have a one-use only missile and it's in range, and you choose that model to fire, you must fire those missiles. You can't choose not to. Yep. Can't choose not to. Yep. Rules as written in the rulebook. We haven't played it that way, I don't think, so far.
Never.
And
but then again, we don't often take
and I don't think I would play it that way. I think for Warhammer specifically, I don't know what Winters wants to do on DZ, but I think for Warhammer, I don't think I would rule it that way. I just don't think I would, because it doesn't seem to make sense to me. But rules as written, if you select a model to fire, you fire with all ranged weapons that are in range. So if your missile is in range, you fire it.
It makes sense, but
it doesn't make sense.
No, it makes sense from a rules as written point of view.
Yeah.
But never ever would have.
Yeah. So if these one-use only missiles, if you are in range with a shield breaker missile, you fire it.
So you could.
So if you're not in range of
have a scout.
Yeah, 100%. So although I say to you, I think they're the stronger choice, I am relying on people's common sense of letting you fire them if and when you want to, because they're one-use only. But
to be fair, if you're out of range for 2 turns,
to counter
lucky you've got to get to turn 6.
Yeah, but to counter against these, eat a scout, eat a jet bike, whatever you want to give them, eat that, and fire your missile like that. Keep everything else out of range.
Here,
fire that.
Here, fire it at mob of boys.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? When we played, I'll put a bit of a spoiler in here. So, spoiler alert: there's a battle report on deploymentzone.tv, which, like I've said to you, is Winters' Knights versus my Eldar. So, spoiler: if you don't want to hear anything about the game, then switch off now for about 2 minutes, and then come back and gauge whether I'm still talking about it or not. But basically, he was trying to push his Dominus class in range of my Warlord, who was a seer, and I was keeping him out of range on purpose, so he couldn't. And I was trying to get him to spend all his command points, so he could get rid of the 2 command points, so he didn't have 2 command points to use the character hunting missile. Whether he did or didn't, I'm not going to tell you that part. But what I didn't know at the time, which I now know, is that at the point that I was keeping my seer out of range, and he only had 2 missiles because he'd played for Siegebreaker cannons like you would.
Good lad.
So at the point, I believe even from turn 1, his missiles were in range. So actually, I only needed to keep the seer out of range for turn 1 and 2 and keep something else in range. He has to fire them. Turn 3, you've used your missiles, so gone.
I suppose if that is the rule as written, then actually you'd want 4 missiles, because it gives you a better chance of hitting something
what you want to hit
with a missile.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you just chase it down for 3 or 4 turns, and then you will eventually get it.
You will be in range of that target.
Yeah. Unless someone really hunts you, because actually they're really hard to kill still.
What, the Dominus class?
Yeah, I mean,
they are.
You have to target it. Really target it.
28 wounds, toughness 8, 5 up invulnerable save as standard, 3 up armor save. They are hard to take down. And if you make them a Warlord, or I think there's relics or something out there, you can basically give them a 4 up invulnerable save with their Iron Shield. You could then, if you wanted to, spend 3 command points for that one to rotate Iron Shields and give you a 3 up invulnerable save if it was your Warlord. So there are ways of making them insanely tough, but that's 3 command points. And I mean, you can do that. Well, you could do that 3 turns now, your 9 command points if you really wanted to.
You're doing nothing else.
Exactly. It's an all eggs in one basket type situation. Yeah. Anyway, Border Knights. Knights are coming to Warhammer soon. It annoys me because I love the model so much, and the Codex is now really good, and I refuse to buy the army because you've got them. So there's no point in me having a Knight army as well. I might... No, I'm not going to do it.
Eventually, maybe I wouldn't mind, which we can do together or whatever, but the... a Knight army that isn't a house.
Well, so actually, what's not long come out, I think last week it came out at the time of filming this, is an FAQ errata type thing that GW have released for Renegade Knights. So what I can do, and what I probably will do, is build a Renegade Knight household to go along with my Chaos type stuff, because I'm a big Chaos fan. And what I like about that is it's lots of opportunity to kit bash and stuff as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to... get
eventually
Dominus classes and stuff myself. I've got some armigers on the way. I think they were donated or something to build up, and then I'll kit bash them and put spikes on and make them look angry. So that'd be cool.
I've seen some good ones already.
Yeah, so Renegade Knights is cool. The only thing is the only current Imperial Knight I own is the Forge World Chaos one, the Forge World upgrade kit. Which is amazing, but to try and kit bash a standard Knight to look anywhere near as good as that Forge World one is going to be difficult. So I'm probably going to tap up Dylan for loads of green stuff work, because he's just amazing. He doesn't know that yet. But yeah, so Knights is cool. Renegade Knights are a thing. It annoys me they've got 1 stratagem and 1 Warlord trait, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. And I'm hoping that what this means, what that FAQ means, is that it may have a Codex for Renegade Knights in the pipeline. That would be super cool. With an equivalent type of stratagems and Warlord relics and Warlord traits and stuff, but for Renegades instead. And I want how greedy. I would like bonuses for aligning your Knights to Chaos Gods. So Khorne Knights to gain D3 attacks, and Nurgle Knights to have a feel no pain, like a disgusting resilient type save.
Well, you kind of have that with Imperial Knights anyway, don't you? Mechanicum versus Imperium. Different allegiances give you different things. So
I would happily, with Chaos Knights, I would happily not have households with Renegade Knights. I would happily have 5 equivalents. So I would happily have Khorne, Nurgle, Sinesh, Tzeentch, unaligned, and an unaligned one, which is different altogether, and give them benefits. I don't know what they might be. I don't know if your Tzeentch one gets +1 invulnerable save or something like that, or your Nurgle one get. I don't know. I don't know how it would work at the moment.
Now you're spitballing, aren't you?
Yeah, Nurgle one gets a disgusting resilient save. Khorne gets D3 attacks on alternate charges extra. Which could be pretty horrific. And then what could we do for Sinesh? Always fights first in the fight phase. That'd be cool.
Always gets a modelling.
And then Renegade Undivided. Phase. I want them to be able to advance and charge. Anyway, that's just off the top of my head. So that's Knights. We've done Knights now. I'm bored of talking about Knights. That's cool. So I think that probably covers everything I wanted to talk about with those. What we'll talk about a little bit now is what's coming to Warhammer and to DZ for that matter.
Yeah. So Knights are coming to more.
Yeah. So those that you don't know already, you obviously haven't watched the videos, but most of you probably do know. Recently, we launched a venture with Winter's SEO. He approached me actually. Winters, what a lovely man.
Yeah.
And we now have a website, www.deploymentzone.tv. You've heard us mention it a few times already. It's because I'm very excited about it. At the time of filming this, we are closing in rapidly on the 4-week mark. It's only been live for 4 weeks. Yeah. It seems like it's been forever. Check that website out. That is our on-demand website, trying to rival certain other on-demand services that are out there. But do our own thing. We're trying to spin narrative type stuff on that channel instead of doing more competitive stuff and telling stories. And we work towards campaigns. I think we're going to come up with some campaigns to do between two of the armies that we choose or whatever. But what that means is we need lots more resources for things like battle reports and stuff. So we're upping our number of armies quite rapidly, actually. I'm struggling to keep up myself. Head on over and check it out and have a look at it. Don't feel obliged to subscribe, obviously. We've always said that Warhammer and Winter's SEO's YouTube channels at this stage will continue as they are, and that is the case. But check it out, and there's some really cool games and battle reports over there on there already.
Top tips.
Winter's top tips are really good.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying them actually.
Yeah,
some stuff I'm going to be changing the
and
way
we've got DZHQ, which is where we do sit in chats, but I sit with someone who knows what I'm talking about instead.
Yeah. D3.
Yeah.
No, D3.
Anyway, and there's merchandise and all kinds of stuff on there. But like I said, that means we need to up the army. So I wanted to give you guys an update as to what we're doing for the channel. So do I mention this or not? I don't know if I mentioned this or not. No, I'm not going to mention it that way. Mike is frantically working hard on... Well, you've increased the number of models for your Ultramarines, haven't you? You've added tanks and flyers and stuff.
Yeah.
He's painted up some more Knights. We're just waiting for him to top it off with a Dominus class, basically. Maybe some Helverins.
Yeah.
And then you're also frantically putting together a big Orc list.
Yep.
A bane of your life.
It was a massive bane of my life at times. I lost a bit of love, and then I gained the love back, and then I lost it again, and I found it again. And obviously, when you have to build that many models, it can be.
Yeah.
But the bikes were a nightmare. So I've been building bikes quite frantically. I want knobs on bikes because I like knobs on bikes. I think they're going to be really strong. I think they're strong already at the moment. Definitely as far as Orcs are concerned. So I'm pushing them and building bikes. It's awful. Yeah. It was horrendous to start with. Nothing fits together properly. No. Really.
Mold lines
everywhere, and that was it. It nearly broke me. I nearly quit.
Really?
That bad? I nearly quit bikes of Orcs, and that nearly pushed me back to just building a pile of trucks and battle wagons that I actually quite enjoyed building.
Yeah.
And I would have just had a pile of boys, probably 36 because I've already built them and painted them, and with a pile of trucks and battle wagons and death dreads. Like building death dreads, they're quite good fun.
Yeah, they are cool models.
So I finished that one, but I then found the love of converting, and actually you can have so much fun.
And that's the cool thing in it with Orcs.
All the random bits that I've got.
You just do what you want.
Yeah.
Do what you want, and you could justify it pretty much.
Massively.
It's brave. It is brave sinking a few quid into a lot of time into an army that hasn't got a Codex yet.
It is, but it's also Orcs, so I believe that it doesn't matter because they're fun anyway, and that's the way it should be played. And it's all about enjoying yourself because you never start in the battle. When I start a battle with my Ultramarines, I'm hoping a lot of them survive, and that I will hold objectives, and I will be strong. And every
bloke's key, every bloke key.
Yeah, exactly. I don't imagine that with Orcs. I'm going to have to get used to losing models fast. Yeah. And I think that's okay. So
just sacrificing them, essentially.
A little bit, yeah.
That's what the Green Horde does. They say for the great good. That's the Tau thing. For Gork and Mork.
Yeah.
And actually, it's always been the case. When you go to tournaments, the player that everyone loves to see is the Orc player, because the Orc player is always the guy who's just there having fun and enjoying himself and shouting "wah" at every given opportunity. So it will be good fun. It'll be good to see them. They are trundling along at a great rate of knots. Actually, you put me to shame with as quick as you kick armies out and stuff. Actually,
I try.
Yeah.
I can't outsource.
No.
So I have to.
So they're coming soon-ish. There's a tournament coming, isn't there? There's a tournament
Yeah.
coming in August or something that you want to try and get ready for.
August, I'm aiming, so 9 to 10 weeks from now.
Yeah, so this is the end of June at the moment that we're filming this, near enough right at the end of June. So he's looking at 8 to 10 weeks having the orcs ready. Yeah. I've just about to finish spraying a 2 to 2,500 points worth of Necron silver. At that point, they'll then get the wash and Necron compound treatment, and then I'm going to start detailing all the panels and painting them up. So probably a similar-ish sort of time frame, I reckon. Maybe quicker for the Necrons, because to get them camera ready will probably be a lot quicker.
Yeah.
If I was to get them no retreat ready, that would take a lot longer, obviously. We've got the Thousand Suns on the way back to us really soon, hopefully. And then one of the armies you haven't seen yet on Warhammer, which is coming really, really soon, we've taken delivery of a World Eaters army that was painted by a guy called James at a company called Blazing Brush Studio. So I'll link his website below. Feel free to click on it and check it out. And he has kit bashed pretty much the whole army there or thereabouts. And he's used the Age of Sigmar, Khorne, Bloodbound stuff, along with 30k Marines and shoulder pads and whatever your weapons. And he's made a World Eaters army that he's painted up in Hounds of Abaddon colours. So they are World Eaters, but they are black in Hounds of Abaddon colours. Yeah. I've used them once already. The army looks gorgeous. I can't wait to show it to you. I'll do a sit and talk soon just about that army and what it does and what the idea behind it is. We're asking him to do another 2,000 points to add to the 2,000 we've already got, so we have lots of options and we can keep changing them around. So you're about to see the World Eaters come rampaging across the channel, attacking and murdering and,
dying rapidly.
Having played them as well, it's amazing fun because I have 2 phases. I have the movement phase and then the fight and charge phase. That's it. Yeah. I don't have anything else because I don't have any psychic, and I have, in the 2,000 points I've currently got, I have 7 weapons.
5 for pistols?
2 bolt pistols, 4 combi bolters, and 1 combi melter. That's it in 2,000 points.
Including the rhinos.
that includes the rhinos, exactly. Yeah. So they are a lot of fun. I can't wait to show them to you. I might show a little flash clip up during this video so you can go, ooh, actually, I want to look at those. Yeah. There'll be lots of fun to bring. He's got some of the bits and pieces. He's currently painted up a Helldrake and a Renegade Knight and a Demon Prince to add in. So that'll be really, really cool to bring those because I love chaos, and I'm just too lazy to paint my own chaos stuff because it's like time, basically. Yeah. I've got the Necrons on the go. There's another army. There's 2 other armies I'm currently building that some people know about and some people don't. Patrons know about one definitely, because that's one of the bonuses of being a patron. You get lots of behind the scenes type stuff. Yeah. So that stuff's coming. So we've got lots more armies coming for battle reports. We have recently started doing more narrative stuff. And when I say narrative, what I mean is not necessarily just narrative missions in the rulebook, just making our own stuff up and going, this sounds like a cool scenario, let's do it. So I'm rubbish at making stuff up at the moment. We're getting better and we're coming up with some cool scenarios. And I'm being coached by my wonderful Jedi Master Winters. And he's teaching me loads of stuff. But what I thought would be cool is you guys feel free to comment below or write into morehammer@gmail.com and give us custom scenarios that we can chuck out. Yeah. Because that'd be really cool to play. You've got some ideas, I've got some ideas. And then when we've got a feel for doing custom scenarios and doing narrative games, we'll chuck a campaign together where we'll have one battle that will affect the next battle that will affect the next battle. I think that'd be really, really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So that'd be good fun.
The Hounds and the Eldar and the Ultramarines you can pick from to fight.
Yeah.
But you could just do opponent versus opponent type thing, and we'll just fill in the blanks.
Because your Imperium is now quite big-ish with your Ultramarines, your Primaris, and your Imperial Knights.
Yeah.
I would like to have the Khorne and the Imperium fighting each other. I think that'd be really cool. But I need a little bit more Khorne to do that. To fight each other because I've only got 2,000 points, and actually, we could do Chaos versus Imperium if I start getting the Thousand Suns and the Tzeentch Demons back as well. We can have Chaos versus Imperium as a bit of a campaign between the 2 of us. Yeah. Because Mike here down this neck of the woods, Mike is my primary opponent. Really, You're probably going to feature the most on the channel because Winters lives a few miles away. It takes me an hour and a half to drive to him. Or for him to drive to us. So we try and get together as often as we can, especially for DZ. But then it is normally for DZ and not for Warhammer. Yeah. So there'll be some campaign stuff coming as well. We need to start mapping it out and doing that. But there's a lot to be done. And I know we haven't kicked a lot of this stuff out recently on Warhammer, and it's been horrendous because I had to build a website and then launch a website and then have all the content on the website. And
you should. So Liam is like this technical god in comparison to Winters.
Yeah.
But in comparison, normally, He's like the brewmaster, not the computer master. So
I've
actually, you've learned flipping loads. I've been amazed by the amount you've learned. You just like absorbed Noel into your head.
Yeah.
And then
oh, bless him. He's been amazing as well.
Yeah.
Noel's been amazing.
The amount of effort is just
Yeah.
It's really impressive for what they've done in such a short space of time. Because you talk to me about odd ideas. I want to do this and this, and then I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll talk about that next time we get together. And then you get together and you, I've done this, this, this.
So there's loads coming to the channel.
Yeah.
And obviously stuff that you'll see on the channel, you'll also see lots of over on DZ TV. There's some really, really cool announcements coming soon that we know about, and that's about it. No one else knows about it yet. They're coming soon. I can't say much more yet. So stay tuned for those sorts of things. I have no idea how much content we filmed, so we're going to have a look in a minute and see if we need to waffle on for any longer, or if I think we've done enough.
Yeah.
What time is it? Let's have a look at the time. That'll show me where we are. Yeah, I'll do. It's late and I need to go to bed. So yeah, thanks very much for watching this video. I really appreciate people sticking with us. Actually, subscribers have continued to climb, even though over the last month I've been really terrible at kicking content out. And that's because of the DZ thing. I'm not making excuses. It is an excuse, but we needed to get that done and get that right, and I'm really very proud of it. And if that helps this channel grow, winner. And we want to kick out more battle reports on Warhammer, and we're going to get together and hopefully do more of these.
Yeah.
Because actually sitting chats I find much easier when I can bounce ideas with someone. I like doing them on my own at times, but I think they're easier. So if we can get together sometime next week or the week after and talk about the Khorne World Eaters army that we've named the Eternal Slaughter, because it just sounds cool. And we'll talk about those because it's cool for you to see your face when they talk about what they can do. And actually it's good because you can ask questions that I wouldn't normally think about giving people the detail to as well. So yeah, thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for clicking subscribe and looking at our content and keeping watching our videos on Warhammer. We're going to keep kicking stuff out. Very, very proud of it. And that's about that. So to wrap it up, we do have an army of Patreons. Today we hit 50 Patreons. Which is amazing. And there's levels and they get different benefits. And from, I think it's bronze level and above or silver level and above, you get access to a Discord chat.
Where you can be a bully. And bully him into an army. That
I get bullied a lot, yeah.
He gets bullied a lot.
I get picked on.
Yeah.
But we have...
Which is amazing.
We have 50 Patreons and they are all absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
And they give us feedback on DZ and the website. They give us feedback on Warhammer. They give us feedback on armies, battle reports. There's the hobby in that group is amazing.
They arrange their own games. They go off. They've been
There's
the
a
Warhammer
tournament.
World together.
The tournament that you're going to in August is a patron organised tournament.
Yeah.
They've done Warhammer World meetups. We met up at Warhammer Fest.
Yeah.
It is a group of absolute legends. And the like I said, the hobby's incredible. Some of the work that they kick out and how quick they kick out is really inspirational. And even if it's not inspirational for me, it seems to be for other people.
Yeah.
So feel free to check us out on Patreon. The link will be below, and if you feel like it, come and join us. A massive thanks to our sponsor Element Games, who not only have supported us as Warhammer, but they also support Winters at Winters SEO, and they are sponsored DZTV. And they sponsored DZTV when DZTV was just a concept. Yep. Before we'd filmed anything, created anything, built a website, they went, yep, we want to support that.
They can see the dream.
They can see the dream, yeah. So awesome, and thanks very much to the guys at Element Games. Again, they're linked below. Check them out. That's an affiliate link. If you go through that link, it directly supports Warhammer Winters and DZ. Basically, because it means that they know you've come from us, which is awesome.
Nice.
So thanks very much to Element. And I think that covers about everything.
I think that's it.
Yeah, there's a Redbubble link for merchandise that I'm really not doing very well at sporting tonight because DZ stuff is dead. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Please look forward to the next video, whether it's a battle report or a sit talk. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you in the next one.